What's up, DigiDestins? This is Kyle D, better known as Ridemyavatar, and today we're going to be going over none other than Machindramon Chaosdramon. It is an amazing deck going forwards, and I want to talk about it because it's got some surprising new iteration for itself that might blow people away if they see it. So guys, let's dive into this video and talk about it. So let's talk about it. Machindramon is a very unique deck that came out of EX1 collection that is based around the idealism that you will be playing heavy Mega Zoo style with only in the ultimate ranges like your majority of your package, which is going to surprise most opponents because Machindramon as a boss Digimon is very powerful because on play you may place up to 5 black or red cyborg in their traits of different numbers from your hand or trash in this Digi-Evolution card to gain 1 memory for each card placed. So he can guarantee for 5 coming in for 7 cost, or he can come in for a +1 cost. And I'll explain that in a minute, what I'm trying to explain here. All turns, the Digimon DP cannot be reduced, so he's got protection from yellow, but also all turns when this Digimon would be deleted, you may trash 2 level 5 Digimon in this Digi-Evolution cards to prevent this Digimon from being deleted. So that's very important. Always know that Machindramon needs to remove sources from itself in a particular order to always keep up base value of what you need to do. Don't remove sources too prematurely, because if you do, you will be stuck with bad optimization hands. Well, not hands, but sources. So if you want, always make sure you keep like a blocker and a security checker in there just to guarantee that you can produce damage. So Machindramon is an all-in-all huge archetype that really is a fan favorite among players. It just does a lot of crazy things. Machindramon will go on forwards being one of the better decks that hopefully with more support we'll see excessive amount of play. But let's talk about some of the new cards that kind of got added and what we are switching over to. So first off, the newest card that got released in BT7 is none other than Chaosdramon. If it is a Mega Digimon, your Machindramon can Digivolve into this card in your hand for a memory cost of 1, ignoring its Digi-Evolution requirement. So this thing can Digivolve on top, and then you can do some nutty things afterwards. So when Digivolving, you may place 1 red or black level 5 Digimon with Cyborg in his stripe from your hand or trash at the bottom of this Digi-Evolution cards. Then for each level 5 Digimon with Cyborg in his type in this Digi-Evolution cards, complete one of your opponent's Digimon with 6,000 DP or less. So being able to pop blockers is the name of the game, and that's about it what you're going to do with this. He's just there to hold up base, and he's a great target to Digivolve into our bigger threats. Later on I'll explain. But I think what we're going to do a little differently here, because we are going to have a bunch of one-offs to discuss, I want to go into the rookies because it might play some importance. So first off, let's talk about Ridemyavatar. So when attacking, if this Digimon has jamming, trigger draw 1. So we are playing the Ridemyavatar package. So this is going to be our base layer. We don't mind not having optimization for black right away, but we'll have ways of getting into black anyway. So, but if we have options in the blue, we can actually do a lot of crazy things with Machindramon, which really gets nutty because in testing wise, Ridemyavatar with Vmon is always a threat because they have to remove it as soon as possible because it'll keep chipping away, and the only way it dies is through options. So in the security, so it doesn't matter how many times it hits, it's not going to die by battle. And tamers are going to be more and more flexible in this format, so it won't die naturally anyway because options start seeing a little bit of phase out. But keep that in mind. We have Ridemyavatar and Vmon package. We also play Chaosdramon. Chaosdramon is really powerful for us because on play, trash 1 Digimon card with a machine or Cyborg in its traits to draw 2 cards. So allowing us to draw 2 for pretty much it draws even, to be honest with you, because you have to play him, and then you're discarding one just to draw two. But in Machindramon, that's not a terrible thing because we're trying to discard anyway to get to our Machindramon or Chaosdramon, or our level 7 package, which I'll explain in a bit. We'll have, those are kind of our rookies, and we're not going to have anything else from that. But we also do have MachineDramon blocker. So your turn, this Digimon cannot attack. It's fine. But opponent's turn, when this Digimon deletes an opponent's Digimon by battle and survives, unsuspend it. He is a threat in himself. We are playing pretty much 3 threat packages in this deck that your opponent has to answer as soon as possible. The Vmon package, MachineDramon, and then our boss Digimon himself. So allowing us to play in a way that our opponent really doesn't want to keep going at us at the throat. We're just going to be playing in a very, very powerhouse way that your opponent has to keep deciding on. Answer this, answer this, answer this, answer this, answer this, answer this, or I'm not going to win. We have Gigadramon from BT7. This card is your turn. This Digimon's treated as red. We don't care. But your inheritable is what we care about. Your opponent's turn, 2000 DP. Making our Machindramon 13 is huge, especially if we can put certain cards underneath it. We could make it a 13k blocker, which might win us games. Now we have Volcanomon. So Volcanomon is really awesome because his inheritable, while your opponent has an unsuspended Digimon in play, this Digimon gets security +1. So he's right there just for that security extra attack. Then we have Androidmon. So when Digivolving, I'm going to be quite honest with you, we will not be doing this when Digivolving effect. We do have MachineDramon to be able to be an evolution target if we see we need to Digivolve and dig deeper. But when Digivolving, you may reveal 3 cards from the top of your deck, add 1 level 6 Digimon with machines in its traits among them to your hand, trash the remaining cards. Healing the graveyard is really good, but we're really not caring about that when Digivolving. It is the inheritable. While this Digimon has machine in its traits, this Digimon gains blocker. Most of them are cyborg types, but it's our top end that are machine types, which plays very important. Metal Tyrannomon from EX1 also has, you may reveal 3 cards, add 1 level 6 when Digivolving. I wish it were on plays. It would be a little bit better and more consistent way how you want to play Machindramon. Anyway, you don't want to Digivolve up. Your opponent's turn, while this Digimon has machine in its traits, this Digimon gains reboot. Now allowing us to swing with Machindramon, guarantee a restand after checking a few security. Then we have Metal Mamemon. So when Digivolving, you may reveal 3 times. The same thing as all 3 of these EX cards all have that same ability, but we won't be activating it unless we decide to give up our MachineDramon if we so see fit. When Digivolving, if you have a Digimon with machine in its trait, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with a play cost 5 or less. Being able to kill champions is really huge, especially or even rookies or MachineDramons that might just try to be in our way. Just keep that in mind. We also play Megadramon from the starter deck 5. It gives us blocker, which doesn't have any restrictive blocker. Where Androidmon needs to be Machindramon, we can give blockers to our level 7s, which could be nastier in the uphill battle. Then we have Ridemyavatar. We're not caring about its Digiburst. We're never going to do it. But its inheritable is huge for us. When attacking, if you have a Tamer in play, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 2000 DP for the turn. This is a BT4 one. So we do have Tamers to play, allowing us to make it so that we're going to be lowering their defenses while we're swinging in. Then we have Megadramon. So Megadramon is what this Digimon is treated as black, which is really good. But it also has an inheritable during your turn to give your Digimon an extra 2000 DP, making it a very threatening swing in for 13, which is nice because if we can get enough numbers up, we could definitely deal some devastating blows. Then we have Metal Greymon for BT7. So if you have a Tamer in play, gain 2 memory. If you don't have a Tamer in play, you may play a red Tamer card from your hand without paying its memory cost. We don't care about that. What we do care is his inheritable. So your turn, when your opponent's Digimon is deleted, gain 1 memory. It's once per turn. You're starting to see the trend. It's not the above effect we care about. It's the bottom inheritable effects we care about. This deck is all based around the ideas that we want to use their inheritables to the extreme extent. Now we have MachineDramon from EX Collection. On play, delete up to 2 of your opponents with 3000 DP or less. Really nasty. Actually, the on play is kind of beneficial because it is an on play, and the cards we're playing might benefit us to actually play him. But while this Digimon has Machine in his trait, gain security +1. Really nice. Then we have Metal Greymon. When attacking, when this Digimon attacks a player, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 4000 DP or less. And then while this Digimon has Machine or Dragonkin in his traits, gain Piercing. So he's really good in War Greymon themed decks, but he's also really good in Machindramon because Machindramon is a machine. We've talked about Chaosdramon and we talked about Machindramon. Let's talk about X Antibody. So X Antibody is really nasty of a card because we do play Omnimon Zawart Defeat. So now it gives us another option to go and Digivolve on top of our Machindramon if we don't want to go into Chaosdramon. So we can go into Omnimon Zawart Defeat, blow up a Tamer, but we can also go into X Antibody afterwards with this huge stack of prevent your opponent from swinging at you effects. Because when your opponent's Digimon attacks, you may trash 2 of the cards in this Digi-Evolution cards to end the battle. Since Machindramon instantly gives you 5, and then you get 1 more from your Zawart Defeat Digi-Evolution on top of the Machindramon, so that's 6. And then Digivolve into X Antibody, that's 7 materials. You're going to be able to block 1, 2, 3 attacks by himself and fuel up for the play after you do that. So being able to shut down 3 attacks, but when attacking, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with a DP less than or equal to this Digimon's DP. Really huge, but he also allows you to Digivolve for 3. But you can also do this buy for 6 and go right on top of the Chaosdramon, which is not terrible either to go on top. Then we have Zawart Defeat because Digivolving on top of our Machindramon can let us get into X Antibody, but it also pops a Tamer when Digivolving, which is huge in this format because they are playing a slower format. We can now pick and choose what Tamers we don't like them to have, and then Security, play this Digimon without battling, without paying its memory cost instantly. And then on deletion, delete one of your opponent's Digimon. So if they delete it, it's a double-edged sword. Now let's go into the options, and this is what I've been waiting for to really show off. Ultimate Connection. You may trash 1 level 5 Digimon with Cyborg in his traits in your hand to gain 2 memory, draw a card. This card is ridiculous. You instantly just gain +1 memory and draw a card. I mean, for discard 1 is huge, and that is really important to us. Then we have Tidal Wave. So choose up to 2 Digimon in this Digi-Evolution cards, one of your Digimon, and play the other Digimon without paying its memory cost. Play them as other Digimon without paying their memory cost. So what you can do here, which is really nasty, is if you have Machindramon underneath a Omnimon or a Chaosdramon, you'll take Machindramon out with Tidal Wave. Boom. It's only going to cost you 2 memory to do this, basically, because Machindramon will pull everything up to gain you memory back. So this becomes a 2 cost. And then now you also have an ultimate on board out of the Chaosdramon stack, which is fine by us because now we have a secondary use. Now we have 2 big Digimon, especially depending on the stack we put underneath the original Chaosdramon with this first Machindramon. Boom, you're now in a threat process that your opponent has to now answer 2 really powerful Digimon that might be double blocker big, and that is really scary for them. And then we do play Kaiser Nail. So choose a Digimon, Digi-Evolution card, place under one of your Digimon, play it as if another Digimon without paying its memory cost. So this is a 4 cost of Tidal Wave, but we'll pull the Machindramon out, and then boom, gain a bunch of memory. We can gain up to 5, especially if this activates on your opponent's turn. It's an instant 5 memory gain. That could pass it and give us back to our turn, and your opponent's screwed. Same thing with Tidal Wave, an instant 5 free memory, boom, and you now have 3 bodies on board. Your opponent is struggling to catch up after that. That is huge. And then we have All Delete. You might be wondering, why are we playing this card? Well, let's take this into account. You may return one of your Digimon with Omnimon in its name to its owner's hand. Delete all Digimon and Tamers. all trashing all of their Digi-Evolution cards of that Digimon, you returned with this effect. So what we're hoping to do is we'll either return a Zord defeat, clear their full board, which is nasty because especially with tamer boards, they are really stuck to these tamer idealisms, and you just cleared out their whole board. They're set back way too far for them to come back. So what you're going to do then is all delete, and boom, you're in an advantage where they are screwed. Because now you can just play off the Machindramon anyway. If you're holding on to one, boom, all these cards will just come back, and your opponent is not going to have any way of handling a Machindramon at full power. So keep that in mind, especially after an all delete that went off is really nasty. And then Analog Youth. Reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 Digimon card among them to your hand, trash the remaining cards. Since we want to fuel our graveyard anyway, he's such a great tamer. When one of your level 5 or higher Digimon with Digi-Evolution cards is deleted, you may suspend this tamer, gain 1 memory, and hatch 1 Digi-Egg in an empty space. So our early game comes from the Vmons, and our late games come from our Machindramon, and our guaranteed clear you FU board state is all delete. So what do you guys think? I think Machindramon has so much potential going forwards, and it's going to be really nasty to see what it can do. I know this is basically a rough draft of an idea I have, but guys, I think it's a good stepping stone, and I think we can make it work, and it's going to be nasty to see what this deck can do in the future. So guys, I'm really excited. Let me know down in the comments, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace!